Has been a rough couple of weeks for Snow White, as if the crushingly bad reviews and disastrous opening weekend, where it failed to even match box office predictions that had been repeatedly adjusted down to try to lowball the movie, wasn't bad enough, then the almost 70% drop-off for its second weekend was
Oh my
compounded
God.
by
Oh,
the
this-
fact that
yeah.
it got beaten by a
Oh my God,
low-budget,
that
generic
movie,
action
man.
movie that would have gone direct to DVD a decade ago from an
Yeah.
almost 60-year-old star sleepwalking his way through the kind of role he's played a million times before. And if all that wasn't bad enough, the film's star, Rachel Zegler, was absolutely lambasted on social media by
Yeah,
the son of the
everyone
film's producer,
shit on
who
her.
wrote, "My dad, the producer of enormous piece of Disney IP with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, had to leave his family to fly across the country to reprimand his 20-year-old employee for dragging her personal politics into the middle of promoting the movie, for which she signed a multi-million-dollar contract to get paid and do publicity for." And so, here we find ourselves.
she
2
should be
weeks
sued.
After release, and as of the time of recording this video, Snow White has managed to limp to a worldwide box office gross of $145 million.
It's actually more than I thought.
I think it's safe to say this is probably not what Disney were hoping for. In fact, it's fallen a bit short of the break-even point, to say the least. How short exactly? Well, lucky for us, the movie was shot over here in the UK to take advantage of a $50 million tax break.
I can't divulge information about that customer's secret illegal account.
That's great, but one of the funny little quirks of our tax system is that companies like Disney actually have to file tax returns for the movie, which means they're gonna have to publicly divulge their spending for it. Jesus, I think this might be the one and only time in my entire adult life that I've been grateful to the British tax man. Anyway, according to this recent article from Forbes, by July 31st, 2022, Disney had already spent a staggering $183.3 million on making Snow White, even though principal photography had only just wrapped.
That's not too
The
bad,
latest set of
right?
filings show that by December 31st,
Like, keep reading it, doubles,
2023,
triples.
that total had risen to 269.4
Okay.
million, forcing Disney to admit in its filings that the film was forecasted to be over the production budget.
No shit.
Reshoots and post-production work have taken place since then, so the costs are set to increase, though the bulk of the money's been spent. It brings the total cost to around 300 million, which is almost precisely in line with the
I
estimate
was
from
dead.
expert film industry pundit Valiant Renegade, who assessed back in September 2023 that Disney's Snow White remake cost $300 million.
Wow.
Fuck.
And that's not even factoring in the cost of promotion, which was at least another $100 million, bringing the total to at least $400 million. But as I said
nearly
earlier,
a billion.
it was
Okay.
filmed over here to take advantage of that all-important tax break, so let's deduct 50 million to leave us with a budget of 350 million. But then, of course, distributors have to take their cut, because funnily enough, cinemas don't tend to show movies out of the goodness of their heart. They want a percentage. And according to the film industry expert Stephen Follows, who interviewed over 1,200 film professionals back in 2014, theaters keep 49% of the takings on average.
49.
So that means only half of the box office takings actually get paid back to the studio, which in this case means that Snow White would need to make about $700 million just to break even.
Serious?
You know, call me crazy, but something tells
Wow.
me they're not gonna make it.
Even James
In
Cameron
fact,
wouldn't
if
have
they
been
even
saved
get
that.
to 200 million
Nah.
at this point, I'll be impressed. But Drinker, you not so charming prince, I hear you say, the movie's only been out for 2 weeks. How can you write it off already?
Oh.
There's still plenty of time to turn it around.
Okay. Yep.
Well, dear viewer, movies that actually get stronger week on week are a bit like Glasgow mothers who drop their kids off at school wearing something other than Ugg boots and pajama bottoms. Yeah, they theoretically do exist, but I've never fucking seen one. The reality is, almost every movie ever makes the bulk of its revenue within the first 2 weeks. After that, pretty much everyone who wants to see it will have done so already, and it's a steep decline into obscurity. Not just that, but there's an even bigger problem looming on the horizon. The Minecraft movie comes out this weekend, a huge IP with a dedicated fan base that's way more culturally relevant than Snow White, which will target much the same audience and almost certainly wipe it off the face of the earth. This, as they say, is it. Snow White has got nowhere left to go, no major territories left to open in, and no time left to do it. It's officially become one of the biggest bombs in Disney history. Jesus, man, it almost makes the Marvels look like a success story.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
And this is unquestionably a good thing, because this is about more than just one crappy movie that people love to shit
Final
on.
staple.
The disastrous
Nail.
failure of this film represents a wholesale rejection, so loud and so clear that even the most out-of-touch Hollywood executive can't possibly ignore it. A rejection of
Yep.
everything this project represents, and everything that Hollywood's tried so hard to
The war
push
is
in
over.
recent years. The lazy retelling of classic stories with cringy modern-day feminist overtones tacked on.
Hopefully.
The sacrifice of universal themes and characters in
Beginning
favour
of the end.
divisive
This movie
identity
would have been the final nail in the coffin of that.
obnoxious,
Yeah.
opinionated actors
Turning
who think
point.
they're more important than the film they're part of, and lash out at anyone who tries to burst their bubble. And the constant recycling of old ideas, retreading paths that were forged by far more talented creatives. For lack of a better description, the message is dead, and Snow White was the funeral dirge. So if that's the case, then where exactly do we go from here? Well, as Echo Chamberlain so rightly observed, now that the cultural tides have shifted and we're leaving behind the era of woke, we're in danger now of sliding into the era of slop, where the same lazy storytelling, recycled ideas, and simplistic characters are still being sharted out, only minus the divisive political messaging. And I've even noticed this myself. You'd be amazed how many times I've criticised a certain movie only to find comments on my video like, well, at least it wasn't woke, what are you complaining about, drinker, you dick?
I still haven't seen that
Well,
movie.
I'm sorry, but just because a film doesn't shove
Don't
identity
settle for
politics down your
second
throat
best.
doesn't mean it gets a free pass from me, and it shouldn't from you either. If your bar for an
Exactly.
acceptable movie experience is that fucking low, then you're never going to get anything better because you're giving the studios no incentive to even try. You're just going to get more bloated, overpriced slop like The Electric State, or Brave New World, or probably Avengers Doomsday. Hollywood and cinema in general seems to have reached a fork in the road at this point, with one path leading to even bigger and more expensive but creatively bankrupt movies trying desperately to drum up interest through spectacle and cheap nostalgia, and the other leading to smaller, leaner, and more creatively interesting new ideas made by people who actually give a shit about telling good stories. And which way they go is going to depend a great deal on what their audience spends their money on. So spend wisely, keep your wits about you, and don't let your guard down, dear viewer. We might have won this particular battle, but the war for entertainment isn't over yet. Oh yeah, and just before I fuck off to drink myself into oblivion for another couple of days, I just wanted to remind everyone that the Kickstarter launched by Mahler and myself to make a series of short films is closing in fast on our funding goal.
Oh, what?
We've now raised over $200,000 in the first few days, which is a fantastic result, and I'm hoping that with your help, we can give it one last push to get it over the finish line. We're really excited to start making movies of our own, even if it's only on a small scale at first, and this is your chance to help make that happen. Either way, I'll put a link to the Kickstarter page in the description, where you can find out everything you need to know about the project, the various short films we want to make, and
to
how
Canada.
to submit your own pitch for the chance to get your own short film made. The rest, I leave up to you. Anyway,
Hey.
that's all I've got for today. Go away
Go away
now.
now. Yeah, like yeah, I know they massively screwed up. I think the biggest screw up was where they're originally going to use a cast, but like real people, but they weren't they weren't small
weren't defined as
small people.
dwarves.
Yeah, they weren't small people.
Yeah.
So like, oh, okay, people are complaining. Let's get dwarves or let's get actual small people. And then they're like, oh, let's do it CGI. So then they made it CGI. So they didn't even cast
Yeah.
any possible talent to play the roles. So it's like, I know Peter Dinklage had a big thing on that. He was freaking pissed about that. But yeah, it was just like so many mess ups all at once. But yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon?
I think the whole original. I mean, there's a lot of speculation for the production of this thing. I mean, it's been like fucking 3 years in the making. But I think originally when they said there was going to be a multicultural group playing replacement dwarves, one of my theories is they were trying to do the Sonic route, which was they showed that so people could backlash about it. So the studio can say, hey, we listened to your complaints, and now we're going to do the CG dwarves. We listened to you, and this is our way of saying
And according to
we
the film,
apologize,
Yeah.
but it backfired on them because they didn't realize that the movie already had a ticking time bomb, which was that one on the left of that screen, Rachel Zegler. She created the atom bomb that nuked the movie in general. Like, I think if you had a pleasant lead actress that people enjoyed, a good example for me was, let's say Emma Watson decided to play this character Snow White. There would still be a good herd of people that would have come and seen this film, and it probably would have made some bank. Because even though Emma Watson is very political and feminism and all that, she's not in camera a bitch. Which
Yeah.
this one is. Simple as point. So, like, the whole dwarf thing was probably going to be tolerated no matter what. But this one right here that's on screen, she's the reason why the film in general sunk as bad as it has. You know, it's like, you could have had small people, you could have had multicultural people as the dwarves. I guarantee you would still
Oh,
have
yeah.
had an audience that would have wanted to go see the film for the main star, which is meant to be Snow White. But this is not a Snow White. This is a political template that severely backfired.
Yeah, so is it the people behind making her character, or do you think it was her after the facts with all the press and all the bullshit that she did?
Definitely her. Like,
Yeah.
they've done Bella's Cinderella. They not Cinderella. Bella's not Cinderella. What's Bella from? The one with the monster, and she like
Oh, Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast. Thank you. It's like
Emma
Bella and the
Watson.
monster.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, again Emma Watson. Like they changed her character to be more, um, independent and whatnot. They've done that a lot. It's there, but for the most part, it hasn't been like a soul crushing experience. It's annoying. You tolerate it because of the cast, because of the actress playing it, and all stuff. Like, one of the key reasons why Emma Watson got that role in Beauty and the Beast was because, hey, it's Hermione from Harry Potter. There's already a fan base for her that love her. You know what I mean? With Rachel, she shot herself in the own foot by being too damn political. If she just kept her mouth shut through the whole press tour and all that stuff, I guarantee you they would have made some bank, and it would not have been as big a blow as it has.
Right. So all the like the dwarf stuff and all that, that's kind of minor compared to like her
So,
political
I
bullshit.
think that was a marketing ploy that backfired because the audience were prepared for it with Sonic. But again, if none of the Rachel Zegler stuff came out, the dwarf situation would have been tolerated. You
Yeah.
know, and it doesn't mean the movie would have been any better, but it would have had a general larger audience going to see that film. Like, she's the reason why no one went and saw that film, not the dwarf situation.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's our take on the whole Snow White. I'm sure there's a lot more to say, but I guess we'll just keep it
If I
there.
have to finish it up with saying anything, sorry, it's, you gotta know the difference between being an actor and being a celebrity. Most people these days in like their early 20s, they don't know the difference, and they feel like they have to have a political view in front of the camera. They have to have the clout like sheep following them. Just be an actor. Be there to entertain the audience. You shouldn't have to have any religious fanaticism, any political fanaticism, any voices of opinion. Just be a friggin' actress and entertain your audience.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That's really what it is. It's entertainment. They're trying to blow it out of
Yes.
proportion, like there's some sort of they got some opinion. It like it
Yes.
matters.
The
Like,
greatest
yeah.
actors and actresses of all time. I mean, like, it's arguable what the definition of a great actor actress is, but generally it's a person that's winning Oscars. Not because the studio is banking them, but because the general people agree. And there's no bigger example that comes straight to mind as Daniel Day-Lewis. He's a multi-Oscar winner, multi-Academy Award winner. He is not a celebrity. He stays out of the spotlight. He stays out of that stupid, opinionated, self-reflection, insightful bullcrap.
Yeah.
He knows that's not his avenue. So, long story short, be an actor. Simple as that. Entertain.
Ironically enough,
So-
Jason Statham's kind of. I mean, he's not at level actor as Daniel Day-Lewis, but I don't know. He seems like a very. He's very good at like marketing himself in the movies. He shuts up and just does his job.
Well, as the critical drinker just exemplified,
Yeah.
his movie made more than Snow White.
Yeah.
Statham is an action star. He's an action hero who's been doing the same story for 20 years, and that still made more bank than this. A Hollywood Disney production. So,
Yeah,
it's a perfect example.
yeah, that was like that movie with Jason Statham is a movie that should go. Yeah, that's a straight to box office type movie, but
Great to B grade, buddy, in Bali freaking DVD rip, you know? It's like, but still, yeah. Say no more. Simple as that.
all right. Well, thank you for watching us agree to every point of Critical Drinker. So, yep,
Always.
cool, sweet, always, and we'll see you next time on the Jimmies.